in lifespan, similar to that caused by smoking 15 cigarettes a day. In fact, there is a huge amount of evidence showing individuals who report feeling of loneliness are more likely to have health problem later in their life. When the idea of routine writing this book came to my mind, I decided that I would write a book that speaks data, but rather a book that speak from one heart to another heart. That's what you need, right? You don't care. You don't care how many people in the world are lonely. You care about how you can deal with your loneliness. Well, that's the first problem. Why is loneliness considered such a taboo in our society? Why do you hate the idea of being with yourself so much that the time you spend with yourself is now considered as loneliness? And there should be some instant hooks and techniques to deal with it. How can the idea of being with yourself make you feel scared? Honestly, I have no authority to ask these questions. I once very nice to myself whether I used to think that there was something wrong with me, and that was the reason people left me, and if I can fix that wrong thing in me, people will stay. Thought after spending a long time on my own figuring out my personality and thoughts, I realized that I am a pretty good person. I like being with myself, and I always loved spending time in my room, reading my books, and wandering to a distant place that only I am aware of, that always felt hazardous to me. I dug deeper into my past, studying why I hated the idea of being on my own, and why I tired to make friends when I never wanted a big group. I am an introvert, and I like having only a few people around me. People who I truly love. I don't like to hang out with people who I call friends and beach about behind their backs. But then the question traveled back to why I wished for the same things that I always hated. And the answer was acceptance in the society. When I was still in high school, there was a girl in my class was all alone in a class of 150 students. I cannot say why no one talked to her because she was from a different section. I was a new student. Yet, those same people become my friends. When I had friends from her section, but SHC, she who had been studying there forever, didn't have any friends. I used to see her getting alone, sitting alone, and the last row of the class so that she was hidden and even going to the washroom alone. Fun fact, girls would rather control their pee than go to the washroom alone, but here she was alone. And as much as people made fun of her, most students felt sorry for her as well. I remember I asked one of my friends, one of my friends about her. I don't know her name, so I said, "Hey, why does that girl from section always seem to be alone?" And my friends said, "I don't know. I never talked to her either, but she has always been like this since I joined the school. Other students say is she is a weirdo. Like you know." This conversion is the answer to why we fear loneliness. The fear of loneliness was injected into our minds since we were kids. We have learned that the kid who eats alone, sits alone, and has no friends is pathetic. In every book or movie, the kid who is eating alone and has no friends, I always figured as a weak character who needs to be saved. Pick any book or movie, and you will observe a common pattern around loneliness. In all of them, these people were shown as easy targets or an object of your sympathy. No one wants to be seen as a weirdo. Hence, our dread of being alone. We don't want people to think of us as a weirdo, someone who needs to be saved or mocked, someone who is unwanted or doesn't fit in with the cool kids. I don't think I need to save a word about how much we give weight to other opinion of us. It's our life, but we live as per the rules of society. In fact, so many people don't take action and their goals because they are worried about what people would sees them as a think of them. What is people laugh at them? What if the fail of everyone sees them as a failure? Our lives have become a collection of other thoughts and judgment. The fear of judgment is ignorance so deep within us that says you will stop worrying what others think about you when you realize how seldom they do. अब है चैप्टर 1 स्टेप romanticism lines. If there is anything that can be crueler than death, it's nurturing felt hope in your heart just to see them crushing every piece of you at the end. You must have watched those YouTube videos or maybe read books that encourage you to romanticize your life, haven't you? I have, and to be honest, only be watching those videos do I fall back into my imaginary world. There I am the queen of the world, at least of my world, just after imagining how it would feel running through my veins, something that I cannot explain. World, you might be thinking Renuka. If you love the concept of romanticizing life, then why are you stopping me to believe in it? Well, after experimenting, learning, watching, and reading about romanticizing life, I came up with this one explanation, which is everyone is already romanticizing their life. They just don't know the nature of their character yet. Confusing. Let me tell you how you are already working down on this concept and why this can be the most dangerous things for you future. But let's after first understand that romanticizing life means, shall we? Romanticizing your life means becoming the main character of your life, is as if your entire day in being records. In short, you act like you are in a movie playing the role of the main character. अगला पेज. But here is the thing. Consciously, we all act as the movie character behave. In any movie, the characters start with a girl and boy. Either the girl is broken and finds herself in a dark tunnel with depression, streets, and endlessly, not to mention a poor girl and seen more often, or the same situation is played by the boy. Then the boy comes into her life as the hero who saves her from the cruel words, gives her hope, teaches her how to love, and finally falls in love with her. And after that, both of them face this world together, like God was conspiring from heaven for their path to collide. Sound familiar? If the girl, then the boy is broken, and then the girl comes as the goddess to play the exact same role that we have just read. And if there is no love story, then there is a friendship story then revolves around the same thing. A broken, depressed, and pathless person meets with another person, and they become best friends for life. Most of the movies, web series, books revolve around the same plot, where one is broken and the other one comes as the guiding angel, which I like to call good drama. Good drama. Now the problem is that people like you and me have been watching, listening, reading about these kinds of life incidents since childhood. We have made a belief one day someone will come to save you, rescue you, or rather fall in love with you. All my college life, I was waiting for a friendship like Joy and Chandler from Friends, FRIENDF, Friends. But nothing like that ever happened. I never had a best friend either in school or in college, but I always wanted one. I kind of best friend we see in web series and movies. Perhaps that is the reason that even after having a bunch of friends around me, I used to feel incomplete through thought. If I look back in time and see the world from a fresh perspective or mature perspective, I can see a little girl wishing to have the same teddy bear she saw in some random movie. तो आज तक मूवी तक ख़त्म कर गया पहला चैप्टर. तो इंशाल्लाह कल आगे से मूवी से आगे पढ़ेंगे सफ़ा नंबर 17. तो मिलते हैं किसी अगली वीडियो में. अल्लाह हाफिज़.